What's going on, everybody? It's your boy X here, and I'm back with another one. Today, we're gonna be talking about cross-gen games. What I think about them, how I feel about them. Are they ruining? Are they ruining? Sorry, gaming in general and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get all my thoughts about it, how I feel about them and stuff like that, because they're more like relevant than ever than before. So I wanted to get my thoughts about it and talk about stuff like that, just because after the recent news about Horizon being, well, no, I think after the recent news have God of War being on PS4 stuff like that, they've been, more than ever and stuff like that. So I'll get my thoughts on it. Also, real quick before we get into today's video, if you guys have not checked out my E3 video and stuff like that, it's gonna be either up here or down there or towards the end of the video and stuff like that. Go check that out and stuff like that, because as we all know, this week coming out is gonna be juicy, especially into next week and stuff like that. We got I talk about all the conferences that I'm gonna be talking about and covering stuff like that. So check out that video. I go through all the details about every conference, stuff like that and stuff like that. I can't wait, stuff like that. But and stuff like that. I know. And that should be my catchphrase. And stuff like that. And stuff like that. And stuff like that. But so go out and check out that video, stuff like that. As also, but today we're gonna talk about cross-gen games. So if you guys do enjoy today's video, make sure that you smash the like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel. Make sure you share this video out, because that help the channel out so much. And let's get right into it. So I've been wanting to do this video for the past 2 days, but I've been busy working and stuff like that. So I wanted to get this out now before all the juiciness and litness starts and stuff like that, and the end of the week and stuff like that, because we have Ratchet and Clank, all that's good, all good stuff. So where do I stand with cross-gen games? So cross-gen gaming and stuff is basically when a new generation starts and games are still coming out on the previous gen or hardware and stuff like that. So if because now I'm not gonna lie, I was late getting a PS4, like because at the time I already didn't have my own money and stuff like that. I was basically broke and struggling. So I got a PS4 like in 2015. Now people like, yes, I got a PS4 in 2015. I know they came out in 2013 stuff like that, but that time period was really rough, stuff like that. I couldn't get one, so I was still rocking the PS3. So but then so I don't remember it being like that, but I do remember like games did come out. Some games came out for PS3, but they quickly switched over to the PS4. Of what I saw and stuff like that. Remember, I didn't get the PS4 till 2 years later and stuff like that. But yeah, like GTA, I played on the PS3 until I got the PS4 and stuff like that. So cross-gen gaming wasn't really that like a big deal back then, but now today and stuff like that, we have more powerful hardware and stuff like that. So when the PS5 got announced, it came out and they was going through all the specs and details and ray tracing. No one, even console people like me, didn't even know what ray tracing was. I didn't know what ray tracing was until we had that PS5 tech demo by Mark Cerny, and he was I'm talking about what it was. Like, I was like, oh shoot! So the PS5 was already miles ahead of the PS4 and the PS4 Pro and stuff like that. So we was already excited, like, oh my god, like their new graphic techniques and all this stuff. We're moving away from hard drives to SSDs, so loading times are going to be thinking past stuff. All this juicy news, and we was like, just like all information was hitting us, like just bam, just knocking us out and stuff like that. So we was all hyped. I was hyped and stuff like that. This is gonna be a leap and stuff like that. So of course, everybody was trying to get one day one stuff like that. But when I remember when they went to the PS5 showcase event in June and stuff like that. That's when they dropped some bombshells on us and stuff like that. They revealed Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, and they revealed Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now that was huge. I remember watching the event, and I love watching reactions. So I watch everybody's like reaction stuff like that. And everybody was just shocked. Said, "Oh my God, Sony just won! Look at all the PS5 games out the gate." I thought that these would be the PS5 games out the gate. Like Spider-Man Morales looks so damn good. Like this shit ain't come to PS4 stuff like that. And they were saying, "Oh, we believe in generations," stuff like that. So I'm like, "Oh shoot, they gonna once the PS5 comes out, they gonna leave the PS5 4 in the dust." Like, you know, but later on, I'll talk about that's not the case. So basically, and stuff like that, people were shocked, people were excited, stuff like that, and no, I was too. Until I think it was like a few weeks or a month later, we got the news that Spider-Man Miles Morales, I think Horizon, I think that's what it was the news too. I'm not sure about Horizon, but I know Spider-Man Miles Morales. It said that it's coming to PS4. Now a lot of people were shocked and surprised, like what and stuff like that. And even I was caught off guard, like okay, I like Spider-Man is literally the most popular superhero besides like Batman, Superman, and all that. So why wouldn't you have that flagship? Even though that it wasn't a full game, it was like like Miles story and stuff like that. So which the game was fantastic, but just have it on PS5 to sell the units stuff like that. So that was like the first like oh okay stuff like that. Then all of a sudden we kept getting new news and more news about more games coming to PS4, and I was like, hold on a second, like what is this? What is this? So every game besides Ratchet and Clank, and I think it was another game, but I can think about it that it was on PS5 only. So Ratchet and Clank, Demon Souls, and I think I can't think of it off the top of my head, but those games were only PS5. The ones the show. Everything else was on PS4. So people were taking it back like, okay. And meanwhile, it was extremely difficult to get a PS5. Now, so after that event, Sony, said pre-orders are going to start, the day after the event in the morning. And people was like, cool, all right. People went to work, people went to bed, people, ate or something. They was chilling. Walmart, these bastards said, no, fuck that. We're gonna drop them right now. And stuff. Drop the pre-orders out the blue. One of the most disastrous launch and pre-order for a console, I think, since like the not even the PS3, but literally one of the most it was a complete disaster. From the pre-orders to the launch, it was disaster. Like it was one of the most horrible launches that I have ever seen for a console, and I have owned every console. But from Walmart, and then when Walmart released the pre-orders early, other stores started following them. And they were like, oh, shoot, and stuff like that. No, we get like GameStop, Target, Best Buy, and stuff like that. So people that weren't on social media, and so include myself because I don't use social medias and stuff like that. But people on Twitter and stuff like that were going crazy. So, and people were like, people that weren't in the know were left in the dark. People that were on social media, Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that, were getting notifications like, hey, their friends telling them, hey, Walmart released the pre-orders early. So by the time people got word about, people making videos about it, got word about, what was going on, they tried to log on, and they were already gone. Walmart and Sony part stuff like that fucked up so badly on the pre-orders. After that, scalpers came in full force, started buying up a bunch of the stocks and stuff like that, started to sell their pre-orders at triple or 4 times the price and stuff like that. People were frustrated and stuff like that. People were waiting in line and stuff like that. Especially because of what was going on in the world, stuff like that. It was very hard. Most stores were only doing online or online only, so that just made gave the scalpers the few to do even more and stuff like that, because a lot of stores weren't doing the waiting in line and stuff like that, besides GameStop and stuff like that. But Best Buy, Target, Walmart was only online, stuff like that. So that kind of sucks and stuff. And GameStop and these stores, and GameStop only had like 5 or 10, sometimes even 2. So these stores literally last year only had like a very small amount, so people were climbing at the bits and stuff like that. Like I remember from November to, I believe, January, I was watching nothing but PS5. Like, guys, how to get one. I was on Best Buy site, I was on Walmart site, I was on Target site, I was even GameStop and stuff, because I didn't want to wait in line and stuff like that. And I was in PlayStation Direct. I was doing everything in my power to try to get one, but it was failed. So a lot of people couldn't get one and stuff like that. It was a disaster. The scalpers basically won and stuff like that, and that goes for the Xbox too. It was just crazy and stuff like that. But then, of course, a lot of people say, wait, why am I out here risking my life and breaking my neck trying to get a PS5 when all these games are coming for PS4? Switch, I see that and stuff like that. I see the point and stuff like that. But then, on the other hand, stuff like that, you want that shiny new piece of tech and stuff like that. You want to, play these games at the absolute best and stuff like that. So, and keep in mind stuff like that. More people were like upgrading their TVs and stuff like that for that and stuff like that. But a lot of people missed out and stuff on the PS5. It was a disaster. But the months follow after that, we kept getting more and more news about more and more games coming to PS4. Horizon Forbidden West, as some more, as just some more games, stuff like that. Which I was like, wow. So you didn't really need to get a PS5 to play these to play the games, stuff like that. So I kind of took it in the back seat and stuff. I was like, what's going on? But then, where we are right now is where a couple days ago, Sony just announced that God of War will be coming to the PS4. And that was the final straw, the nail in the coffin, after months of every game being cross-gen. And Sony went back on their word, because let's be honest, Sony kind of lied. Like, hey, so Sony kind of lied and stuff like that. And yes, before Xbox fans try to say I'm talking about PlayStation and stuff like that, I love Xbox. Xbox has their own thing with Game Pass, stuff like that. So I'm just focused on PlayStation because it's around them and stuff like that with the cross-gen games, because they said they believe in generations and was going to focus strictly on PS5, but went back on that. So this is just for like Sony and PlayStation and stuff like that. Xbox, you good. You just need exclusives. Game Pass is incredible. But those exclusives though? So basically, so that Abra was outraged. People were on Twitter. People were, and I don't condone this as of like harassing the developers at Santa Monica. People were, just lashing out, which I get the frustration, but we don't have to take it to another level. This is a game. It's a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. Why would you want to threaten someone's life over a game and stuff like that? I get it. We all upset. It's devastating and stuff like that. But I kind of knew that this game was going to come on PS4 and stuff like that, because of the whole, a lot, and people don't look about this like this way. A lot of these games were first built or were halfway built on the PS4 hardware and dev kits. So it's not like the PS4 5 came out and these developers just dropped what they were doing and switched over to the PS5 and started building the game on there. A lot of these games were basically done completing on the PS4 hardware and the developers just took the games that developed and just upscaled them to run on PS5. That's why we just have 4K, 60 frames. They might add ray tracing, but the graphics itself, besides Ratchet and Clank, that strictly was PS5 only. A lot of these games don't look next gen. Dying Light 2, you know, Horizon to some extent, even though the game looks beautiful, it's still basically a PS4 game. You know, Spider-Man Miles Morales and stuff. All these games were built on the foundation of the PS4 hardware because and stuff. So I already knew that these games would come out on PS4. I already knew that they were going to look next gen, but I was surprised that even games that were further out until 2022 is still going to be on PS4. And I'm just like, is it really going to be 2 years before we see like solid PS5 games, stuff like that? Now, that's what I'm hoping for this year's E3. We get solid next gen games for Xbox and for PlayStation, stuff like that, because I do plan on picking it up at Xbox. But it's just the fact is that, you know, Sony just went backwards and said, "Oh shoot, you know, half of our fan base." Because let's think about this, right? Everybody has their opinion about cross-gen. Some people don't care about it. Some people don't mind it. And some people actually hate it. It holds the games back and stuff like that. I get it and stuff like that. I agree with that point. It does hold the games back, but at a certain point, I don't really care because the people that have the new hardware are gonna get that boost in performance. Are gonna get that slight boost and resolution and stuff like that. So basically, you are getting benefits, even though it's primarily still a PS4 game, stuff like that. So I understand it, but you gotta think about it and look at it as like a business way, right? Sony and stuff like that has what 120 or something million PS4s out in the wild. That's almost the entire PlayStation fan base compared to what I think is 8 or 9 million PS5s that were sold. That's like night and day and stuff like that. So the basically the core community is still on the PS4 because the PS5 is still hard to get. You can't walk into Walmart, Best Buy and say, "Hey, can I get PS5?" No, sir. So you can't find them in the stores. They still don't have them and stuff like that. The only way to get the PS5 now is about random drops or paying scalpers and stuff like that, which, you know, and stuff. And yes, I did get my. I didn't tell us in the last video, but I did get mine from StockX. Like I said, I was skeptical. I wasn't gonna buy it from eBay, stuff like that, but I did my research, stuff like that, because StockX checks your stuff, so that's why I went with them. But I still paid overpriced. I think I paid like $870 or something like that overpriced. It sucks. It sucks having to pay over. It just comes out how bad you want it, stuff like that. But Sony wasn't just gonna abandon them. So, you know, that was it. Hold up. We can't just leave these guys behind because they don't have PS5 yet and stuff like that. So, I kind of see it, like, for a business perspective, they want to make the most money possible, and either they release it on PS5 to only some people, or release it on PS5 and PS4 to release it to all the people and stuff like that. So, I kind of see why people, you know, got upset, stuff like that. But, you know, I do see all arguments and stuff like that. I'm not gonna go too long into a rant and stuff like that. But anyway, my thoughts about cross-gen. So cross-gen as a whole, cross-gen game and stuff, I don't really care about it and stuff like that. After what we saw from Horizon and stuff like that, I really don't care and stuff like that. If they can pull off and upscale a game, even though that it was built on the PS4 foundation, and just upscale it to look like that, can you imagine that game was PS5 only? Like, though, I really don't care stuff for that. Now, yes, it does suck, especially for God of War, which I thought is their flagship game, and that they want to have that exclusive to, hey, you don't play God of War, get a PS5, stuff like that. But I have no doubt that Santa Monica is going to make that game look like, I think Horizon and God of War has the potential of being the best looking games on PS5, probably PS4 too. Now, of course, you already know if you have a PS4 and you plan to play these games on the PS4, you're not gonna get. I think Horizon said, you know, the little water details, stuff like that in the game and stuff. So some features are already gonna be missing. You're still gonna have dirty frames, not true 4K and stuff like that. Or in the base PS4, you're gonna be 1080p. So when you get, there are perks that you get from when you play it on the PS5. You get higher frame rates, loading times, you know, higher resolution, stuff like that, 4K and stuff like that. So, like I said, I don't really care about cross-gen games, stuff like that. Now, Sony is doing it more than ever and stuff, it seems like. So I just hope that within the next year they cut the PS4 off, because at a certain point, yeah, you had to cut the PS4 off, because we buy these new systems to play true next-gen games. Like, I want to see developers take full advantage of the PS5 because of how powerful it is. Stuff that, remember, they're still experimenting with it, but I don't want to see them hold back or tie down because it's like, oh shit, this game is so powerful that now we can't run the PS4. We gotta scale it back and stuff like that. No, stuff like that. I don't care about it, but do I like it? No, not really, and stuff like that. But I understand it's very hard, stuff like that, especially with what's going on in the world. The supply shortages and the demand is so high, stuff like that. But I do get it, stuff like that. I'm not these blind here. Oh, why are you making this? You got I bought a PS5 to play PS4 games. My PS5 is literally sitting on the shelf. I haven't touched it since I beat Resident Evil 8 or Village. So I do get it and stuff like that, but I'm not this blind here and stuff like that. I understand the reasons why Sony is making a lot of their big games cross-gen, because they want to make them more. They want to make the most money at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to and stuff like that. A lot of people have the PS4 still than the PS5 and stuff like that. But when it comes to cross-gen games, stuff like that, what you guys think down below and stuff like that? Tell me how you feel about cross-gen gaming as a whole. You know, now it's more in discussion and controversy, stuff like that. Are you upset about it? Do you like it? Do you don't like it? Do you hate it? Do you feel like it holds the games back? Or do you feel like the game's still gonna look good no matter what? Which, by Horizon, that game speaks for itself. So, and they already and Horizon and stuff like that already confirmed that that game was built primarily on the PS4. That's just my thoughts about cross-gen game and stuff as a whole. I want to get this video out and stuff like that before E3 and on the conferences and stuff like that, because it's about to get late and stuff like that. But like I said, it is what it is, stuff like that. Hopefully within 2022, probably late 2022, we can see the cutoff point and no more PS4 and stuff like that. So, and hopefully the PS5s will be in the stores, shelves, so people will be able to get it more easier without having to go through scalpers or sit in random drops and websites crashing and stuff like that and stuff. So hopefully and stuff like that, it does work out. Not in 2022, probably 2023, but like I said, I hope 2022 and stuff like that. But if you guys did enjoy this little video or rant or whatever you want to call it, stuff like that, please make sure that you smash the like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel. Make sure you share this video out, because that'll turn out so much. We have so much content coming out this week and stuff like that. I have so many videos coming out and dropping, especially when E3 starts, stuff like that. Especially Ratchet and Clank. I already have that pre-order and stuff like that, and I can't wait. And ladies and gentlemen, it's about to be magnificent. Stay safe, take it easy, peace.